Welcome to another exciting Leepa Live Sports. Here we go with week 3. We are happy to be here. This is going to be great, guys. If you don't think it's great yet, I don't understand how you're going to think it's great because this show is ready to rock. Leepa Live Sports back again, week number 3. And let me tell you right now, when I tell you it's an exciting week, it's an exciting week. We had an exciting week last week. A lot of things a lot of people didn't see coming. And I know for one thing, it's really refreshing to be back to football. Week 3 rolling right along. We're getting a little bit of a chance to see who's who. I'm up in the New York studio today on the Times Square. Little unexpected flight going out, but here I am. New York studio, Times Square. Chris holding down the Tampa Bay area. Chris, how's it going in Tampa Bay?
Well, it's typical Florida weather. It's a little wet here, but the talk of the town is the Bucks right now. I think the Lightning are the team that is probably the most popular team in town, but the Bucks and the Rays, man, they're not far behind. The Rays are playing good baseball, but the Bucks, Fitzmagic at its best. It's what a game we saw on Sunday. I mean, when we started in the preseason, we said how, we thought the Bucks would really start out 0-3, maybe even 0-4. Now we have a quarterback controversy, and I don't even know if it is a quarterback controversy, to be honest with you.
That's what I want to ask, Chris. Is it a quarterback controversy? I mean, it's no secret that from the very beginning that I was calling for Fitz. And, they call him Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic came a long time ago. One more point I want to add about this guy, Fitzmagic, okay? He's bringing some fun and excitement into this locker room. And it's not just football people that are laughing and playing this. I mean, it's actually brought some great fun attention to the NFL. And I think the swagger of Fitz to do that, to have the mentality to know and to do that. This is a father of 7 kids. He comes out there on the field with his kids and runs with them and plays them 30 minutes. He brings that calmness and swagger, I believe, to the quarterback position. Not so much serious when he knows how to take the edge of it off, have fun with the moment you're in right now. And I believe because of that right now, he has the whole team, Chris. The whole team.
Dude, that press conference was awesome. That's going to be the highlight of the NFL for the first for the first half of the season. I got to correct you though. He's only got 6 kids. He's got the 7th on the way, end of January.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
That's what I heard.
Okay. I mean, I can't argue with you. If that's what he's got, then that's what he's got. But there's no doubt about it. I will say one thing, Chris. Now, I want you to know this. Way back in his Buffalo Bill days, I think he started this whole beard thing with guys way back then when it was peeling out of his face mask.
He's had it as long as I can remember. And when he was in Buffalo, he was a good quarterback there. He wasn't a great quarterback, but he kept him in games. And I mean, I forget how many teams he's played for now. I just keep wondering, why hasn't he had a full-time shot? He always seems to go somewhere and be the backup and wins the job by the end of the season. So why hasn't he been a starter in this league?
Chris, I think why is because at the times that it's happened with Fitz is that he was the backup. Okay, a lot of teams are iffy about that when someone goes on a streak. They think they have their future or money into another player that gets hurt. So they're looking for this player that they have all the money to come back. Once it hit a certain point with Fitz, that people were thinking about, well, we're not going to pour all this team money into this guy because of the fact of his age. So his age started playing a factor in it. And so I think now we're at that point with Fitz. But the Fitz magic didn't come out of nowhere. This Fitz magic thing's been going on for a very long time. And it's a lot of fun. So I'm not, it's one of the things, Chris, when you ask why isn't he a starter somewhere, which I believe he can be for a lot of teams out there. What do you think about that? Isn't there a lot of teams that he could be a starter for?
Yeah. He's definitely should be a starter in this league. I don't know that there's as many. There's only 32 spots for a QB, and we've got some pretty good quarterbacks out there. We're seeing teams air it out in these first 2 weeks of the season. That's one of the things I kind of a little bit surprised by. It's not a running back league anymore. It's a wide receiver
They
and a
want the
throwing
action.
league.
Chris, before I get too far sidetracked from this, I just wanted to put this up there. And I wanted everybody to see this because look at the guy. I mean, the guy is freaking awesome, man. He came out there with some swag. I mean, and had fun with it. That's what it's all about. The guy came out there, had a lot of fun with it, and I just got to say, man, I really love it. Chris?
Dude, I one of the things that I was really happy about is I always wondered whether Deshaun Jackson was a good guy for the clubhouse. And to me, the jury was really still kind of out on that. I don't think he really was in season 1 on the Bucs. But I think you're starting to see him be that he actually is a good teammate in the clubhouse. I mean, he went along with him, his shirt, some of his chains, and it sounded like a couple other people's chains, but they're having fun in the locker room. Jameis sends a text message to all the wide receivers saying, "Hey, good game." He's gonna be doing that every week because he can't do it on the sidelines because they don't allow that. But I don't see him starting. I don't see him coming back and getting his job back until Fitzpatrick has a bad week or two, or he's really gonna have 2 to 3 bad weeks, I would think. And you look at their schedule. They got the Steelers this week. The Steelers are really struggling. Who knows we know what's going on with Le'Veon Bell, but now Antonio Brown's upset too. Their 2 best offensive players are in turmoil on that team right now. They're a sinking ship. Then we go to the Bears. Bears have looked good at the Falcons. Then the Browns. And John, that's one of your teams that you picked to win a bunch of games. And they're 1-1.
Chris, and I'm still excited about that, and I still feel the same way about it because of the teams they played. They played the Pittsburgh Steelers and they played the New Orleans Saints. Both teams that a lot of these sportscasters on these very popular channels that everybody's growing up watching say were Super Bowl contenders. I mean, so when you really look at what this Cleveland Brown teams has done, then you got to say, wow, hey, these guys are the real deal. While we're there, Chris, first game, the first game this week, okay? Yeah. We've got the Jets. There's the little helmet there.
Fumble!
The Jets. But I did catch that fumble recovery.
Fumble! Jump on it!
Okay, I did. We have those New York Jets, okay, with the rookie quarterback, okay, coming up against those Cleveland Browns. So exactly on what we're talking about, Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets. Exactly what we're talking about there, Chris, is this Cleveland team I did pick to win some games this season. And, I'm not just picking the underdog. I did watch the HBO special with the Hard Knocks. I really like that program. I like to be able to see a little bit on the inside scenes and stuff. And I know that some of it's staged. It is what it is. But at the same time, you do get a little bit more familiar with some of these players and the way that they conduct themselves on the practice field, which I believe transcends onto the game field. So the way you practice is the way you play. Practice?
I totally agree with you on the practice and the playing. You got to practice like you want to play in the games. Let me ask you, because I did not see Hard Knocks. I haven't seen any of it. Did they do anything on the kickers for Cleveland on Hard Knocks? Because that's
I didn't see anything on the kicker, Chris, and it could, it could have been that I missed something like that.
Sure.
They were, believe it or not, there was a couple players they highlighted in the Hard Knocks that got cut from the team. So, it just has really to do that. Sometimes the camera likes somebody and they follow them. They got a lot to say, or it's about the story of the people wanting to follow this underdog, whether they're going to make the cut or not for the team. So, sometimes you get that. But you're right. The kicker is a situation. Now, Chris, I'm not 100% sure on this. And I wish we had our intern, Isabella, here today. Did they cut that kicker for the Browns?
They did.
They cut the kicker.
They cut him. Of course they cut him. He missed 2 field goals and 2 extra points on Sunday.
And really, Chris, when we look at that for what you just opened up with on these Cleveland Browns telling me you expected some wins and they're 0-2 going into the third game, if that kicker made the kicks, they're 2-0, right?
Yeah.
You agree with me on that?
I totally agree with you.
So these Cleveland Browns who've won one game in 34, okay, they would right now in this season be 2-0 with the kicker.
Yeah.
They'd be 2-0 with the kicker, right?
Yeah, they haven't won in, 2.5 years now?
That's great. I just want to go ahead and turn this up real quick. Anybody who's watching, there I am right there getting everybody live on Facebook. I see Donna's on there, okay? So I'm just giving that little preview right now, letting everybody know that's on there that if you are on Facebook, then what you want to do if you really want to watch this show is you want to head over to the LeepaLive.com.
www.
Sorry about that. You want to go over to LeepaLive.com. Okay?
www.leepa.
That's right. Well, you hit it, it'll come in there. I promise you. LeepaLive.com. You can find us on YouTube on the Leepa Live channel as well. I just want to let everybody know that right now. So if you are watching us on Facebook, I'm ready to turn it off. You just get a preview there. You want to continue watching, go to LeepaLive.com. We'll see you over there, over and out from Facebook. Okay. Anyway, Chris, I wanted to go ahead and get the Facebook thing out there because it is all about us promoting the show and getting more people involved in this because we want more fans to actually call in. And that's another thing that is something that we're really featuring and trying to get more involvement from our fans, Chris, is that we're trying to get more of our fans to actually call in. And if we can do that and get more fans to call in, the show becomes more of what we expect it to be. So if you want to be part of the show, you see the number below right there. Be part of the show. You can text in if you're not comfortable with actually being on air. Text the number you see on the screen right now. If you don't want to just text in, call that number. We're live right now. I will go to the phone. I hope you're not a bill collector, I said. Okay? 2 people that can't call the show is the bill collector and the IRS. Aside from that, everybody can call the show. Look at the number on the bottom of your screen here. There it is, 727-243-8727. If you're shy and you don't want to hear your voice on air, you can text in. If you text in, I will answer any question you have or repeat any comment you may have, as long as you keep the bombs to a minimum. The bombs to a minimum. That's how we're going to roll with this. So let's get right back to the show. Chris, what are you thinking about this game with the Jets?
I'm just hoping somebody.
At the Browns.
I'm hoping a bill collector calls it. Let's start talking about the kicker there, Gonzalez. In the 2 games, he had 2 field goals made, 5 field goals attempted. So he missed 3 field goals. He missed 2 from 40 to 49 yards and 150 plus. Then he also missed 2 extra points out of the 5 he took. So you had to cut him. They brought in a rookie from Florida Atlantic University named Greg Joseph. He's going to have to win some games for them. I mean, I forget what you had him, Cleveland Browns, winning for the season. I had him at 3-13, and I'm thinking I lost that one to you.
Chris. They brought in a rookie kicker when they've lost 2 games with a kicker, with the pressure could not be any higher for an organization that needs to win football games. They've lost 2 in a row because of a kicker, and they brought in a rookie kicker?
I didn't see the timeline of events, but Dan Bailey from Dallas, who's now at Minnesota, same way, kicking problems, costing them games. You can't have that. They cut him, and I know they cut him. I'm pretty sure they cut him Sunday, and Monday night I think they signed Bailey. Cleveland should have been on that before them. That was a mistake by them there, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, still, it's a little bit strange to me that you're losing these games on kicking, and while you're losing them on kicking, you get a rookie in there. I don't understand that. Just because, I mean, isn't there a vet out there? Isn't there a kicker vet out there, or really is there not? And if there's not, I'll tell you right now, all you high school players, soccer players, start kicking that football. If you're not a soccer player, start kicking that football. I'll tell you what, right now, in the very hometown of Tarpon Springs, okay, Chris, right in the area you're at right now, I can tell you right now, they got a young kicker over there at the Ohio. What is it though? What is it? The Ohio Bobcats, or what is that school? I'm gonna have to look. We need the intern Isabella here. We really do. They got Louis Zervos from Tarpon Springs breaking some records up there at that school. College guy. They redshirted him his first year. I think this might be his third year, but they redshirted him the first time. I'll tell you what, there's a kicker right there. Might end up back home with Tampa Bay sometime. You never know.
What about that kicker we saw on Friday night under the lights? Against the Enclave?
The kicker under...
Did you forget about him?
You mean the big boy number 54?
Yeah, he was the linebacker for sure.
Oh, yeah. That guy could kick the ball. He's going to college. There's no doubt about it, but they got to let him kick the ball. Chris and I are talking about a high school football. Chris and I like to go to high school football games. And so we're talking about a high school football game. We're looking for a couple hosts, actually, that are going to run the high school programs that can highlight some high school games. So that could be coming to you very soon. Chris, bring me back to the Jets and the Browns. Let's wrap this one up. Tell me what you think.
Well, let's talk about this one a little bit longer. I think this is going to be one of the great games of Week 3. Just so you know, that kicker at FAU played in 14 games. He had 15 field goals out of 21. And then, let's see, it's extra points. He made 64, 68. And that's one thing I think the NFL finally got right, was moving the point after attempt back. I do like that. I think it was too easy before. But yeah, you want to talk about Cleveland or the Jets first?
I'd like you just keep rolling with that. Go right with your Jets.
Well, Tyrod Taylor's still a quarterback there. You know, you haven't seen anything of Mayfield yet. I think they're still impressed with Mayfield, and he's obviously the quarterback of the future. But you got to go with Tyrod Taylor. He's making good plays there. Their defense is what's keeping them in the games, though. Their defense is, you know, you've always been high on them. They're playing good football. You know, they held Pittsburgh to 21 points, and then they held New Orleans to 21 points. Those are not soft offenses by any means. You know, what did Pittsburgh put up on Kansas City? He had 4 touchdowns, didn't he?
I'm not sure, Chris.
I'm pretty sure Roethlisberger had 3 or 4 touchdowns there. So it's one of the bright spots there at Cleveland has also been rookie Antonio Callaway, who you talked about on Hard Knocks when they played him that whole game. He had 47 yards and T in that game against Miami, which was a kind of a boring game, to be honest with you. He'll have to step up now. Gordon's gone to the Patriots. Jarvis Landry's dinged up and questionable for the game, but I'm thinking he'll probably play. One thing that also surprised me is Cleveland's running game. You know, they spread the ball around a little bit, but they're 4th in the league with the average of 135 yards per game. But the majority of that's coming from Carlos Hyde and Tyrod Taylor. On defense, the Jets are allowing 298 yards per game and 18.5 points per game. So that's a game where, you know, you're looking at the Jets. How good are they? They're 1-1. Do they deserve to be 1-1?
They do deserve to be 1-1.
Who did they beat?
Well, Chris, right now I'm dealing with some technical things, and I'm looking for you to kind of carry the heat for me there, buddy. So,
they beat Detroit. Did you forget? If you forgot they beat Detroit? All right. So let's talk about the Jets. They have the quarterback of the future there too, but I don't see that yet. I don't think that Donald has played as good as people think he is playing. Yes, he's 1-1 and he beat Detroit. You know, the defense won that game, or Detroit lost that game with just Stafford having one of the worst games ever for him. Detroit did not play well. Donald's numbers were okay in that, but his numbers were worse playing from behind. Or his numbers were worse playing from behind. 25 of 41 for 334 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. But he is spreading the ball around. He had 8 different receivers in that game.
Chris, I just got a FaceTime in, so it's great to see that we just got to actual FaceTime in. And we're going to go to it just like we said we would. You FaceTime in, and we're on you 100%. All right, let's go right to the Facebook. Who do we got here? I like the mask.
This is the Sports Maniac coming live from Tampa, Florida.
Sports Maniac live from Tampa, Florida. What's going on, Sports Maniac?
Leepa Live, John Lyons, and the other guy. What's up?
Chris, yes, buddy. What's going on over there with you, man?
What's going on, man? That mask is awesome.
Sports Maniac has some very interesting updates for you. Number one, do you know who the richest team in the league is? Number two, does the NFL actually have a new competitor? And then number three, our T-shirt cannon's actually the most dangerous thing out there. Have you guys heard of these things?
Actually, those are all really, really good questions. I like them. Let's go back to number one question is, did you say the most money in the NFL?
Forbes has just released a brand new report evaluating the financials of all the NFL teams. Can you guys guess who is the number one most valuable team in the NFL currently?
I'm going to wing this one before I go to Chris, and I'm going to say it's the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, who do you think?
I'd go with the Cowboys, probably Patriots second.
Okay. And I don't know. What do you think there, Maniac?
The Sports Maniac has the answer for you. Ding, ding, ding. You're both correct. It's the Dallas Cowboys, although they have not been to the Super Bowl in 23 years.
Oh.
Their league-leading revenue comes in at $864 million, making them the NFL's most valuable team. But that's not their total net worth. The total worth is $5 billion, a 4% increase from
wow. That must mean the stadium goes with them. Probably why.
Kudos to Chris for guessing number two. It is the New England Patriots.
Oh.
$1.8 billion, according to Forbes.
Hey, if you asked who sold more candy bars in football, Chris would say Patriots. If you ask him who's got the stinkiest jock straps, Chris would say the Patriots.
I'd say the Lions.
All right.
This maniac is in no position to judge you. I have a lot of personal problems in my life. I am trying to get it back together. I have sought therapy and help from an attorney. He's not actually licensed, but he wears a suit and he screams a lot, so I figure he's got a Jewish last name.
Well, hey, Sports Maniac, we're glad that you're seeking and getting help, and we're hoping it does you good. What was question number two?
Before we move on, since you guys are experts, I need to know something. You guys know why the football coach went to the bank?
Why'd the football coach go to the bank?
To get his quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
No, it wasn't. But anyway, number two, does the NFL have a brand new competitor?
Does the NFL have a brand new, you're saying? So you're saying brand new competitor?
They have not launched yet. You may have heard of them, the Alliance of American Football.
Oh, has this got anything to do with Vince Is Vince McMahon behind this one?
No, but guess who is? CBS, who recently ousted their CEO because he was accused of sexual harassment. But anyway, they've actually released the logos of 4 of the teams. Let me show you a few of them.
All right. Wow, what's that B right there?
That is the Birmingham Iron.
Wow. Sports Maniac, is this real?
This is absolutely real. This is being reported by CBSSports.com. The Alliance of American Football is less than 5 months from its CBS debut. And now we've got a first look at some of the teams set to kick off in February after the Super Bowl. Basically, the Alliance is a way to keep you watching football in the off season. The Birmingham Iron is just one of the teams. The other ones include the
Memphis Express. I like it.
We've also got the Orlando Apollos. We are going to have football all year long.
Orlando Apollos.
I don't know.
Wow, that's pretty fitting, being close to the Space Center.
And then finally, what they're releasing today is the Atlanta Legends.
The Atlanta Legends. Wow. That's actually crisp, fresh news from you, Sports Maniac. That's awesome.
That's why they call me the Maniac. I find insane things for all you sports fans to consume via LeepaLive.com. Moving on to the last question.
Last question.
Are t-shirt cannons secretly the most dangerous thing in America right now? People are freaking out about Trump, Black Lives Matter, public shootings, but it seems that a mascot at a Colorado football game has proven the t-shirt cannons, especially when malfunctioning, are the most dangerous thing.
Chris, I'm going to take that to you. Oh, wait a second. You got a clip?
Yeah.
We've got a clip.
I got to see the clip.
You haven't seen it? Oh, it's
No.
hilarious.
Well, Chris is in the know. He's seen it. This is pretty terrible, guys. So you want to...
I can see it. I hope everybody at home can.
Hit
This
play.
is rated R. This is rated R right here.
Whoa!
Bam!
Dropped them!
I'd buy that for $1.
Dude, that had to hurt. That had to hurt.
Listen, guys, it was great chatting with you, but I got an 8 o'clock with LeBron James,
Yeah.
Donald Trump, and Mariah Carey. We're going to start a new school for children who want to join the Alliance of American Football or whatever it's called. I don't think that's going to be very good, and I think they're going to let anybody play in there, and I'm going to go make $1 million with those guys. It was nice calling in. Thanks for having me.
Sports Maniac, thank you, buddy. Yeah, you always remember to come to Leepa Live first before you go see LeBron and all them others.
LeepaLive.com.
Yeah, thank you. All right, everybody right there. That's what we're talking about. Leepa Live is a show of fans, just like Chris and I. It is about fans, and wow, Chris,
Dude,
we got a new one on the show right there.
That
Sports Maniac.
I'm worried about my job now. I mean, he knew his stuff too.
Not only did he know his stuff, I want everybody to pay attention to that right there. This show is for the fans. It's what we started this for. It's the conversation you have at someone's house watching football on their couch, eating nachos. It's a conversation or the back and back, maybe a little argument, a little spice you're having where you're watching it at the local pub. But he brought his own content in. He brought his own stuff in. And Sports Maniac, wow, Chris.
Sports Maniac.
He's either going to keep calling in or we got a major competitor on our hands here.
Sports Maniac. Hey, I'm going to Johnny's Tap House after this show to watch the game, Jets and the Cleveland Browns. I'd love to see you there if you're in town.
That was great. And again, that a little sense of encouragement there to anybody else. That really is what it's all about right there. And just in case you missed, because obviously Sports Maniac saw the number because he didn't call or text in. He stepped it up one step above that. He used that number and took a chance on me, and he FaceTimed me. That was sweet. Sports Maniac, before you do anything else and get signed to anything else, just stick with Leepa Live, man. We're going to do some great stuff here. That was a lot of fun.
I'm still smiling about that.
We needed that.
Great.
We needed that. You know what? That is a lot like the whole little vibe we were talking about that we had with the Fitz Magic, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Fitz Magic is strong here, man. I am curious to see what the next 4 weeks we're in store for.
Right.
Because I really, you look at the Tampa Bay schedule, and I don't see him getting taken out of the lineup.
Well, Chris, what is it that you have as far as the picks that you have? Do you got like certain picks like that you've already set up for the Jets and the Browns? Do you got your pick on this? I don't want you to tell me yet.
I got all 16 games. I got them all picked.
Okay.
Everybody, I pick them on Thursday. And
you're on Thursday.
I picked them today. But
Okay.
sometimes I'll switch to Sunday games.
Right.
You know, and talking and listening to things if a player's out. But I definitely have my locked in game for tonight.
Well, that's good to know. You know, if anybody who watched the show last time, we have got a call coming in. And I'm going to take the call. Hello, Leepa Live. Leepa Live. Yes, this is Leepa Live.
United Police Officers Association. The reason for the calls, we're setting up for a annual support drive. Legislation that punishes committing violent acts against police officers. They're also going out and advocating to provide the most needed safety equipment to help keep these brave men and women safe. If we were to send you out a support envelope, could the officers count on you to return a one-time donation for the drive?
You absolutely could count on me to do that, yes.
Okay, well, thanks so much. Now, we have several levels of support. The GOAT sponsor, it does cost the most, but it does the most.
Sir, could I interrupt you real quick?
35, and the bronze
This is a recording, Chris.
I know.
Which one is best for you?
The gold one. Okay, wow. I mean, I really thought, hey, I thought we had a caller coming in, and I had to go with it. I mean, can you blame me? Chris, can you blame me for taking the call?
No, but
when I say
longer than I would have hung up.
Yeah, because I didn't know it was a recording, and I'm ready to make my donation to these police officers out there. I'm all about that.
And it's a police fund, so now you're gonna have a ticket waiting for you out in Central Square when you get to your car.
All right, Chris. What I want to do is I want to let everybody know and remind everybody about Murph Man. If you missed Murph Man last week, he made some great picks. Murph Man takes a pick of our Thursday night game every week. Murph Man happens to be 2-0. So, once again, Murph Man, was he in the Tampa studio with you, Chris?
Yeah.
He was.
And he made his pick. Are we going to that now?
We're shortly going to it. What I want to just real quick is let everybody know, if you don't know Murph Man, you can find him on Facebook, just as you see it spelled right there. Find him on Facebook and like him and follow him. He's a super cool cat. He's got a whole bunch of friends, a lot more popular than you and I. Super cool dog. And he's just real cool. And not to mention, he's 2-0 on his picks. Okay? So that in itself is something else. And Chris, I know you're probably a little jealous about that.
He's got me by one game.
He's got you by one game.
He's got me by one game.
Okay.
I'm not far behind.
Well, Chris, before you see Murph pick, I want you to make your pick because I don't want you to try to take Murph's pick.
I picked before Murph picked, and I took the Browns in that. I just, like I said, I don't think Donald's as good as people think he is. I think Cleveland's defense is better than people think it is. And I think their offense is better than people think it is.
So, Chris, you picked those Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. You want another interesting stat?
Yeah.
Since 2013, the Patriots have had 17 players from the Cleveland Browns on their roster. 17 players.
Wow.
Since 2013.
We didn't even talk about what was going on, did we?
We'll come back to that. We can come back to that after.
Okay. Okay. Because that's quite an interesting stat. Where'd Belichick come from?
Cleveland, but that was...
I'm just saying, there's a little something funny going on there with this, isn't there?
That was too far removed. That was...
Too far removed? You just said 17 players are coming from the Cleveland Browns, and the guy used to coach there, I said.
Well, it's actually the general manager in Cleveland in 2013 was... I'm going to draw a blank on his name.
Well, any way you look at it, there's a connection between the two.
Yeah, and that was the connection. The GM that was an assistant, head of operations for the Patriots or whatever.
Okay, I knew there was some sort of connection. Okay, so anyway, with Murph Man, would you like to go to the Murph Man pick right now? Or you? Oh, wait, I got a pick. before Murph Man. Chris, I said it in the beginning of the season. I'm going to say it again now. I think that the Cleveland Browns at this point, with a good kicker, should have been 2-0. Okay? I'm telling you right now, for the first time, the rookie quarterback in those New York Jets is going to see what it's like for the first time to get a true NFL blitz on him. And he's got maximum 3 seconds to get rid of this ball. And that's why I'm going with the Cleveland Browns today. Cleveland, get your win. Take that win back to the locker room and bring it back next week with a winning attitude. You got it this time. We're going to see a rookie quarterback might win the game for him this time. Chris, what do you think about that? Is it going to be a rookie kicker?
You said quarterback. That's what threw me. I was like,
you know what?
Mayfield's
I almost did stir up something there, but we're not ready for that. I'm perfectly happy with Taylor in that game. So,
and you know me, I'm like, I hear one thing, and I'm like, I just get dumber and dumber.
You had that deer in the headlight look when I said that, like, Mayfield's playing?
No, Cleveland. Yeah, I got Cleveland in this game.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't come down to a field goal, though. I will be honest with you there. I think I hope they beat them by 6 or 7 there.
All right, Chris, let's do it then. Let's go ahead and roll the Murph's pick. Let me cue this up. Murph Man is going to have his pick. Where are you, Murph pick? Here's the Murph pick right here. Here we go. And yes.
All right, here I am live in the Leepa Live studio. I've got 2 helmets under here. One
Chris is mixing them up, it looks like.
Murph Man about to make his week 3 pick.
You're really shuffling those helmets up, Chris.
Because he kept going to the right every time.
Wow, look at that mix-up. Okay. So let's see what we got here.
Send Murph on them.
Where are you, Murph? Where are you, Murph? Where are you? That video lagging a little bit. Just hang in there, guys, if you're watching this. Here comes the Murph Man right there. Takes the left cup.
Yeah. What does he got?
Okay.
What does he got?
What do we got? What do we got?
Cleveland.
What? Chris, what do you got in your hand? You're bringing it up. What do you got in your hand, Chris?
And Cleveland it is. Good job, Murph.
There it is, folks.
Here we are with the week.
The Cleveland Browns.
That's one handsome dog.
That was awesome.
So the good news is that I can't lose ground on Murph this week, nor can you, it sounds like. But I'm excited to go watch this game after the show. A couple other games that are sticking out to me was the Bengals and the Panthers game. I think that's going to be. I really enjoyed watching the Bengals play in that first half last week. Seeing AJ Green score 3 touchdowns in the first half, and then the Panthers are a team in the Bucs division where the Bucs division. Who's going to win that division? I mean that's going to go down to week 17 till we have a winner there, and it's going to be decided on a coin flip because these teams are they're going to play each other twice, but I can't tell you there's no team there that I don't see winning a lot of games.
Make your pick.
In the majority of the games.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
what does he got?
And the Bengals.
What does he got? He's got Cleveland.
So Bengals and the Panthers. They are 2-0.
Chris, show us what we got.
And you're taking who?
In Cleveland.
I'm going to actually take the Panthers in that.
Good job, Murph.
And the reason is that they're banged up at running back. Mixon's out with his meniscus tear, but it seems like he's going to be back sooner than we expect.
Right.
But he is still out. Bernard and Rawls are both listed as questionable, and they need to be able to run the ball to set up that pass that the Red Rockets making. And I'm just not sure that they can do that. So I actually have the Panthers in that.
We're getting a call coming in. Keep with it there. All right, we have actually a caller on the line. Welcome to Leepa Live. Who do we got on the line?
It's Rock. What's happening, John?
Rocco, what's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It's going, man. Chris is here at the Tampa studio. I'm in the New York Times Square studio.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
What's going on, man?
Not much.
Good game. Hey, we're enemies this week, though.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a good one.
Rocco,
What's Gordon going to do to you guys?
Huh?
What do you expect from Gordon? You think you'll see him?
Who knows? You never know.
It's true. And the reason why you never know is because of exactly who Gordon is. I mean, wow. Talk about a guy that's gotten a lot of chances in the NFL, huh?
All right. This is probably his last chance, so he better do something.
Patriots, they always take those guys on their last leg, don't they, Rocco?
Yeah. I think, and obviously I'm a Patriots fan, so I hope I'm right. I don't think there's a better place for him to go. I think the Patriots locker room is a strong locker room where it definitely has its leaders by example, and they do it their way, and it's their way or the highway, to be honest with you.
All right. No, you're right.
Their big thing is do your job. Do your job. And you know what? If Josh Gordon can come in and do his job and not be high on whatever he's doing, he'll be fine.
A whole different team. Yeah, it'll be a whole different team then.
And you know what? The Patriots, what did they give up? They didn't even give up a fifth rounder. They got a seventh rounder back too. So they gave up 40 drafts, 30-40 draft pick spots in the draft.
Gave up nothing, basically.
So that's high, low risk, high reward there, and I'm hoping it pays off. I don't think you'll see much of him in the Sunday night game. I think he's got to get accustomed to the playbook. You might see him run some deep routes, but to be honest, how does Detroit defend that? You've got Gronk, if you double team Gronk, Gordon can burn you on the outside. If you double team Gordon, Gronk's going to burn you.
Rocco, what do you think?
And Chris still going to be running across the middle somewhere. You got to worry about James White. Plenty of weapons.
There is plenty of weapons, and you know what? You mentioned White again.
Sony Michel.
Yep, you mentioned White again, and you were pretty spot on last week when you said that White was going to be one of the key factors with that Patriot team.
Yeah, didn't pull through with the win, but
you and I both didn't think right. But we got one or two of those losses on that we picked, Rocco.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocco, we were talking a little bit ago, and I hate to keep pounding it the way we are, but it is the game tonight, that Cleveland game. Jets are at Cleveland. I picked these Cleveland Browns to turn it around this year, and, they got rid of their kicker, and with a kicker, do you agree with me that they'd be 2-0 right now?
Absolutely. 2-0 for sure.
Yeah. Something else, too, is the two teams they were playing, Pittsburgh and the Saints.
Right.
Yeah.
Their defense is no joke.
That's what's
keeping them in there.
What's going to happen tonight with that rookie quarterback going up against this Cleveland Brown defense?
I don't know. It looks windy on the pregame, so
we'll
see how it floats around up there.
Oh, so it's looking pretty windy there in Cleveland?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How's that weather in Michigan there?
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's like 70 right now.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Rocco.
96% humidity, but it's not bad.
That's humid. Rocco, why don't you go ahead and we'll stick with our typical rundown with you. What game is the key game for you this week? Tell me what game you're really looking forward to seeing.
It's the Lions and the Patriots. That can change both teams' seasons right there with a win.
You know what? You're right, Rocco. That could change both team seasons immediately. And so then let's go right with that. You got the Patriots and the Lions. And I said this to Chris, and Chris doesn't like me hearing me say it. We butted heads a couple times on this. But I said this at the beginning of the season on Leepa Live Sports, that I believe this is the year that New England Patriot locker room unravels. And that whole team and the franchise and everything finally unravels. And what do you think about that?
Well, it's Brady's only going to play, a couple more years maybe. Once that happens, it's going to unravel. Absolutely.
What do you think about that, the locker room right now? Because to me, it's kind of like that last season they were in the Super Bowl. You didn't start your best defensive back, and you didn't give an explanation, never have. But Do you think he lost the locker room there a little bit? And then you start hearing all these reports about this book and how, Brady, if he had a chance, he'd be out of there?
It's possible. It's all possible.
So if they lose in Detroit, what do you think happens with that New England locker room?
Say it again.
If they lose in Detroit, when they do, Detroit beats New England this weekend. How do you think that press conference is going to go for New England?
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. That won't be a pretty one, I can imagine.
Now, the press conference will be what it always is. We definitely see we got things to improve on. Our offense needs to improve. Our defense needs to improve. Our special teams need to improve.
Can you do a Belichick, Chris?
And then, no, I can't do it. I don't do it.
On to the next game.
On to the next game. And I believe that's the Colts maybe, but don't quote me on that.
On to the next game. Hey, Rocco, while I got you on the phone, do you mind if I do a quick rundown of all these games?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So, obviously, we have the Jets and the Browns. Who you taking, Jets and Browns?
The Browns.
Okay, good. Me, you, and Chris, all three of us took the Browns. Moving right along, we have the Saints at the Falcons.
Oh, that's a tough one. Go with the Saints.
The Saints. That's a good pick. It's a division game, too. Chris, who are you taking on that one?
I got the Falcons at home.
You got the Falcons at home. Rocco, I love you, brother, but I got to go with the Falcons at home, too, so you might catch one on us there. Okay. Packers at the Skins. Rocco?
Packers.
You're taking those Packers. Chris, yeah. Packers at the Skins.
Same Packers.
You're taking the Packers at the Skins. All the way around the horn there, guys. We're all taking the Packers to beat the Skins. Moving right along. Colts, Indianapolis Colts are at the Philadelphia Eagles. Rocco.
Philly.
You're taking Philly. Chris.
Philly.
And I got to tell you this right now. I am taking the Indianapolis Colts. I'm looking for Mr. Andrew Luck. This guy is a big kid, isn't he? He loves playing the game. I'm taking the Colts on that one. Let's move right along. We're going to the Bills are at the Vikings. Rocco.
That's going to have to be the Vikings.
Chris.
Vikings.
I'm taking the Vikings on that one, too. Let's move right along. Raiders. John Gruden, Chucky, at the Miami Dolphins here in the South Beach, Florida. Rocco.
Oh, Miami.
You're taking Miami. Wow, Rocco. Chris.
Yeah.
I got John Gruden winning the game. Raiders.
Rocco, I like you going with those Dolphins right there. Chris or Rocco, can you tell me this? And I hate that I'm out of it like this, but do the Raiders have a win?
No.
No win.
Nope.
Okay. And they're on the road in Miami. I liked what I've seen a little bit. I'm going Dolphins. I'm going Miami Dolphins. I'm going to stick with the Florida team there. I believe that is the pick right there. Rocco, we got the ponies, the Broncos. Broncos against, some people call them the Donkeys in Colorado. I learned that last week. The Donkeys at the Ravens. Rocco.
Oh, that's a tough one. Go with the Ravens.
You're going Ravens. You're going with Flacco. Chris.
Flacco against the Broncos.
You're going Flacco against the Broncos. I'm sticking with you guys down there all the way across the board. I'm picking the Ravens as well. Moving right along. The Cincinnati Bengals, the hot-looking Cincinnati Bengals, are at the Carolina Panthers. Rocco. Bengals versus the Panthers.
That's a tough game. I'll go first there to give you a minute to think about it. I got the Panthers.
Why?
Like I said, the Bengals running backs are dinged up. So I believe the Panthers defense and Cam.
And you haven't looked at their quarterback, Dalton.
They need the run to set up that pass. They need the.
He's been looking good.
Yeah, he has. Rocco, what do you think about Cincy, though, when they don't have their running back? What do you think about Cincinnati's game?
I think Bernard will step right in. I don't think they'll miss a beat.
There you go. And what do you know about this guy, Bernard?
He's another, like a utility back, like a James White.
Yep.
Like a James White. He can catch the ball?
Like a Theo Riddick,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he can run.
Okay. So then you think with Andy Dalton in there, and then you got a utility back like that, you think they're okay? Step up.
I think so. I mean,
okay.
It's going to be. If it was in Cincy, I'd take Cincy. You know, who knows? Who knows which way that one's going to go?
So you're taking the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers.
Okay, I'm going to cut the grain here. I'm going to look for my brother from another mother, Mr. Andy Dalton. Okay, that's my brother from another mother. I'm going to look for Dalton to pull through here on the road. I'm not a big Panther fan, and that might have something to do with my pick. They are in the Tampa Bay, my town that I live in. Well, I live in Tarpon Springs, but Tampa Bay is our football team 30 minutes down the road. So I don't want the Panthers to win in my division. So I am going and saying my brother from another mother, Mr. Andy Dalton's going to put up some record numbers. He's going to knock down Mr. Smiles over there, who acts like he's going ahead and advertising for Crest toothpaste every time he's on the field.
You know,
guy gets a first down and thinks he wins the Super Bowl until he loses it.
Yeah, he's a little flashy.
Yeah, he is.
Two things about Cam Newton, as you say that about his beard. You know, he was made.
No, I say that about his. He's always over there with this huge smile on his face, like he's actually seriously an info commercial for Crest toothpaste. I said.
No, but they had him on, and he was talking about Fitzpatrick's beard, and he had this one that he says he's been trying to grow for 3 years.
You gotta water that thing.
I hate Cam Newton in press conferences because I think he sounds like an idiot.
Yeah. He just don't. He's trying to be chill, and I think he's a little too much chill. And with the beard, Rocco, man, just think if you started growing that beard out that you got, man, that thing would be plowing through your face mask, dude.
Oh, for sure.
You'd have to trim holes for your eyes, dude.
That's no lie.
So, all right, let's move along on this. You and Chris took the Panthers. I went with my brother from another mother, Mr. Andy Dalton, to go ahead and carry those Cincinnati Bengals into Carolina and come back with a win. Moving along with the New York Giants at those Texans. New York Giants at the Texans. Rocco.
Texans.
You're taking the Texans. Any particular reason why? Other than it's at home.
The Giants aren't looking good at all.
I know, and it sucks because I really picked those Giants to do good this year. I thought that the Heat was going to get off of Eli when they got this running back they drafted, Barkley. I thought it was going to take that heat off of Eli a little bit, but it's not working out that way.
No, their line is horrible.
Yeah, it's too bad to see something like that. You'd think you would invest. You've already got the quarterback. Protect them, let him do something with the ball, especially having the receiving core and the running back you got to give the guy time to do something with the ball.
All right.
Chris, who are you taking?
This is a statement game for both teams at 0-2. The team that loses this game is basically saying, hey, we're not a playoff team. So this is a game both teams need to win. And I'm taking the Texans. I'm taking Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans on that one.
I got to go right along with you guys. Two good picks right there. I think you're right, Chris. I think this is one of those games right there. They're both 0-2. They need a win. And I think because of that, being in Texans, they're going to get the win. They're what do they call it? The 12th man on the field there. It's going to help them get the win there. So moving along. The Titans are at the Jags. Rocco, Titans at the Jaguars. Who do you got?
Got the Jaguars.
You got the Jaguars. Chris?
Jags.
I'm taking the Jags too. Wow, how about those Jags? I said it on the show from the first week. Remember how I said something about this quarterback? He can make a third down completion?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's showing why they paid him now, isn't he, Chris?
Yeah, definitely.
Rocco, now that you've got to see Rocco, this quarterback for the Jags after the playoffs and come back this season with a paycheck, getting paid, do you have a difference of opinion on him?
I pretty much stayed the same. I mean, he seems like he's getting a little better.
I think the Patriots made him look better. The Patriots defense made him look better there. I mean, nothing against Blake Bortles. He's the last 2 games he's played against the Patriots were probably the best 2 games he's ever played, and I think he played better in the AFC Championship than he did Sunday.
Man, what does this Blake Bortles got to do to catch a break? Damn! The guy won 2 playoff games. He comes out here, he's kicking ass.
That team's defense is winning those games.
I said it last weekend. When he gets out the pocket and runs, that's where he becomes dangerous. Picks up those third downs and little unexpected runs from him. You wouldn't think he'd be running the ball, but when he does, he's moving it down the field.
One of the keys to the Jacksonville's winning that game, or the Patriots to win that game, was that they would have to shut down the run, and they did that. The Patriots shut down the run. Blake Bortles beat the Patriots. There's no doubt about that. He threw the ball. He was accurate. He hit his receivers. He hit his tight end. He played a great game, and they deserved to win that game. The Patriots, although the score was close at the end, the Patriots were not in that game. They were never in command of that game at all. Jacksonville was in command the entire time.
So I think it's safe to say we're all taking the Jaguars on this game.
Yep.
All right. Moving right along, we're at the 49ers at the Chiefs. Rocco, before you make your pick, one thing I want to tell you this. Week 1, before we saw any games, you were spot on with these Kansas City Chiefs. You said this rookie, he's not a rookie, his second-year quarterback, but you said this guy's got an amazing arm. You told us he could throw the ball 68 yards in the air, basically 70 yards. And then you told us he had the fastest receiver in the NFL. You said it was going to be the most potent offense in football this year.
Yeah.
You nailed that one, Rocco. These guys are fun to watch.
Putting up some points. Oh, yeah, they're putting up some points.
So, do you got any of these guys in your fantasy football?
I don't have any of them.
You don't? Okay.
No, I don't have any of them.
Chris, you don't have any of them either?
No, neither do I.
Boy.
The one person I wanted went early was Kelsey. I've always liked him as a tight end. I think he's the number 2 tight end in the league.
But anyway, so, I mean, you called it spot on that one, Rocco. And you know what? I paid attention to him because of what you said, because I'll tell you right now, I didn't know the quarterback and I didn't know the receiver. So when I was up at the bar watching these games, the local bar there at Tarpon Springs, Johnny's Tap House, I watched the game, and I'll tell you what, man, what a team, an offense they got. I'm happy for Andy Reid, man. I think he's a great coach, man. I'm happy for Andy Reid.
All right. Yeah, it's just like he always does, man. That guy puts up some offense.
He does. So with that being said, I think it's probably fair to say that we're all taking the Chiefs here.
Yes.
100%.
100%, we're all taking the Chiefs. I think that was a pretty easy one there against the Niners. Chargers at the Rams. Wow. Chargers at the Rams. Rocco.
It's going to be the Rams.
Okay. Chris, what are you taking on that one?
Rams.
And you know what? I think it's going to be a great game because it always seems like, it's like the more intense games that you can find for Rivers. It seems like he hangs in there to the very end. And then it kind of lets you down at the very end there, whether he does or his defense does, I should say. But I got to go with the Rams with you guys on this one too, but I think it's going to be a really, really good game, and I'm looking forward to that. We've got the Cowboys at the Seahawks, Rocco.
At the Seahawks?
Yes.
I think it's going to be the Cowboys.
Wow, you're taking Cowboys to go into Seattle. Isn't Seattle like the loudest stadium you can potentially play in?
Yeah, it is, but they also have one of the worst offensive lines too right now. So, and Dallas' defense isn't looking too shabby.
Good point on that one. Dallas' defense is looking pretty damn good. Chris, what do you think about that game?
I still got the Seahawks at home. I think until they start losing games at home, you got to keep taking them at home.
Yeah. Rocco, I like your pick with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to go into Seattle and win that game. I'm with you on that. Defense looks strong, and if they can get that running game going with Ezekiel Elliott, I think it's all over for the Seahawks. I just don't think they can stop them.
Yeah, Seahawks don't have a running game to speak of, and Doug Baldwin's not back yet. It's not clicking over there.
It's not clicking.
No.
All right, let's move along here. We have the Bears are at the Cardinals. Before you go on this one, Rocco, how about Mac with the Bears, and what one player has done to that defense.
It's pretty incredible. The guy's he's intense out there. It's like he's in on every play.
He actually, I mean, I'm in shock when I'm watching it, and I don't think I can really remember a time where, especially a defensive player, they wanted the money, they didn't get paid the money, and then he gets traded to a team, and then wow, these first 3 games, is the first 2 he's had. It's just like, wow, this guy is incredible, and he's actually changed that whole defensive culture back to the way it used to be when you had Urlacher at his prime.
Right, exactly.
Chris, what do you think about, or before I go to Chris, so with that being said, Rocco, you got the Bears at Arizona.
The Bears.
The Bears. Chris?
I'm still taking the Cardinals at home.
Okay.
Did you see where Gruden was saying how hard it is to find a pass rusher?
I did see that. Did you see that, Rocco?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, you should have probably tried to keep the one you had, maybe.
We got to generate a pass rush somehow, something like that, he said.
Yeah.
It is what he said, and I was like, wow. Okay, so, Chris, you're taking the Cardinals?
Yep.
Okay. I'm with you, Rocco. I'm taking the Bears, and the reason why I'm taking the Bears is Bradford won't make it out of this game. Bradford will not make it out of this game. Mac, I'm saying we just opened up with how he is in this and how incredible he is. You think that's going to slow down? He is going to tear Bradford up. Look out. You won't be able to stop this guy. I think he'll end up with a ball and score 6 points. How about that? I mean, it's not just that. What he's doing right now, the Cardinals are going to have to plan against that because it's more than the player right now. It's more than just the player. It's a movement. I mean, it's on. And the defense is loosened up, and they're going to have fun out there. I'm sorry, Bradford, but if I were you, I'd figure out how to throw the ball in less than 2 seconds.
All right, that's David Johnson.
Absolutely. Moving along. Patriots are at your Detroit Lions, Rocco.
Jeez.
Rocco, come on, man. It's in Detroit. Your Detroit Lions, Rocco.
The Lions need a win real bad.
They do.
But it's not going to happen this
Damn it, Rocco. Come on.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, man. Was that a bleep? Chris, you didn't hit the bleep button for me. Chris, what are you doing here?
I see 3 wins on the Lions schedule. That's it.
Say that. Wait. Say it again, Rocco.
I see 3 wins on the Lions schedule. That's it.
Oh, my.
Rocco. That's not one of them.
I caught home fever on that one, and I called them Lions to be 13-3, I said.
I think it's going to be the other way around.
Yeah, I don't see them winning 13 games in a row.
All right, Chris, do I even have to ask who you're picking here?
No, you don't have to ask.
All right, so we know Chris is going with those New England Patriots. And let me tell you this right now. Here's the thing. My address isn't 23044 Purdue, okay? It's not 23044 Purdue, okay? It's not. But I'll tell you right now, I will take those Detroit Lions, get the first win of the season, and hell's going to break loose in New England. I can't wait to see Chris Monday morning. That's what I can't wait for. See Chris Monday morning. I'm going to videotape that for you, Chris, or Rocco, when he strolls in Monday morning.
Do it.
I'm going to. You got to see this.
I'll be working my strut something fine right there. Then. I'll be walking in, and you'll be like, "All right, we're 3-0-3, and you guys are 2-1."
Yeah, I'm going to take those Detroit Lions. Rocco for the Monday Night Football game. We got your Pittsburgh Steelers against our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rocco.
Where's it at Tampa?
It's in Tampa. It's Pittsburgh coming into Tampa Bay. There'll be a lot of Pittsburgh fans in there. That's one of the things about Tampa Bay games, Rocco, because of the fact that Florida's a melting pot. When any sport venue here, I don't care if it's your baseball game or what it is, you'll have a split crowd. There's going to be a lot of Pittsburgh fans in the crowd. So when you say it's a home game, it's kind of strange here in Florida because, your home field advantage is kind of split there. There'll be just as many Pittsburgh fans there. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Rocco.
They travel well.
Yeah. Who you taking?
Oh man, I think the Steelers need it. Steelers need a win.
They do, but have you by any chance seen the man they call Fitz Magic?
That's the thing. That's why I'm kind of up in the air on this
I
one.
mean, Rocco, it's a real thing. And I'm going to put his picture back up there again. Rocco, it's a real thing. Fitzmagic has this locker room so loose right now. His offense, what have you seen Deshaun Jackson smile in the last 4 years?
Right.
You know, and then you got Evans. And then look at our tight end, Davis. I mean, and then you got, who else you got there? You got the, what's his name, Goodman? Is that his name or Goodwin? Goodwin, right. Thanks, Chris. Godwin. He's good. Godwin.
From Penn State University.
Thank you, Chris. Chris, that was fast, dude. That was fast. So, Rocco, just a reminder out there about Fitzmagic. I'm not trying to sway you towards my home team here.
Yeah, you are. I think Pittsburgh needs this one so bad. Talk about tearing a locker room apart. If they lose this one, that can get ugly in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You're just on those merits right there. I think it's gonna be Pittsburgh.
Okay, Rocco, fair. That's fair enough. Chris. Now hang on, Chris. Hang on. You just scratched your beard. Was that like a signal?
No.
Okay.
No, it is. But you know, this is a tough game for me to pick.
Why? It's in Tampa.
It is.
But it's Tampa.
And it's Tampa. Fans get to see Fitzmagic.
The Tampa team that I thought was going to start 0-3. They're going to start 3-0. I'm calling it 3-0.
You're going with the Buccaneers
3-0 on the Bucs.
Yes.
I think the Steelers are falling apart, man. Tommy better watch out for his job if he can't control that locker room. You know, what did Antonio Brown came out and goes, yeah, we suck. If we're not winning, we suck. And to me, it's like, you already have the issue with Le'Veon Bell. Now you throw Antonio Brown into it. Next thing you know, Ben Roethlisberger's going to do something stupid, and it's your three offensive players are all in the doghouse.
Rocco, talk to me.
For sure. That's
it. What do you think, Rocco? When you see stuff like this happening, what do you think? Is this a coach that loses a locker room and the players are outshining the coach or are you putting it more on players that actually aren't having that respect of their locker room?
As far as Antonio Brown goes, I think it's just a respect thing. You know, he's a diva wide receiver.
So you're going right out there and calling him a diva.
He doesn't want to see Schuster do better than him. Heck no.
Wow.
He's Pittsburgh over there.
Who is?
Antonio Brown.
Okay. Wow, Rocco coming right out and calling him a diva.
Oh yeah, they all are. All those top wide receivers are.
Yeah, you know what?
They want the ball, and that's all they think about.
You know what? It seems that we've seen that so many times with top receivers, and I think it's also a reason why Bryant doesn't have a team yet, because we already know that when he's not getting the ball, he's throwing his helmet on the ground on the sideline. So you mean kind of like that, right?
Exactly like that.
Yeah, Chris.
Like Beckham last year, throwing his helmet, and kicking the net, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So Chris, what do you think about this whole locker room thing and what's going on? The coach, do you like the way the coach is he's kind of protecting the locker room a little bit?
You know, he is a player's coach.
Is that good or bad?
I don't think it's good right now. Okay. I think in the past it's been good. I think that he's getting a little bit too much turmoil in that locker room. I think this Le'Veon Bell thing really threw this team off. You looked at, talking from a fantasy perspective, did anybody think that Le'Veon Bell would not be playing in week 3?
Rocco, if Le'Veon Bell was there in the beginning of your fantasy draft, would you have taken him?
What, with number 1?
Yeah.
It would have been between him and Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Might have probably took Todd Gurley.
Okay, but he's that good that you got him at 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think the real question there isn't because I think you're right. I would have taken Gurley number 1 because Le'Veon Bell hadn't signed yet. But on that, if he's number 2, do you take him? And I don't think so. I would have taken like a Dave Johnson or Leonard Fournette. I just you can't count on him if he's not going to be there.
Hey, Rocco, I never did ask you, man, when you went through that draft, who is your number 1 back?
My number 1 back is David Johnson.
Nice. Who's your quarterback?
I got your boy, the Red Rifle.
You got my boy, the Red Rifle?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hang on a second here. Are you talking about my brother from another mother?
Yeah.
You call him the Red Rifle?
The Red Rocket, the Red Rifle.
Yeah.
I never heard that. That's awesome. All right, cool. Hey, that's a good pick. That is a great pick.
Yeah.
All right, well.
The David Johnson one's hurting right now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But the guy in front of me, I had the 5th pick, and that's when I took him. The guy in front of me took Le'Veon Bell, 4th pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so surprised he was there at number 5.
Yeah. Well, let's
clear
this up. Let's clear this up here. So, I'm going Buccaneers. Chris is going Buccaneers, and Rocco, you're going with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Should be interesting, Rocco. I'm definitely going to be texting you during that game, so just be ready for it.
Okay.
Okay, be ready for that. Rocco, you know what? You just went through every one of those games with us, man. Awesome. Appreciate that.
No problem.
So we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to close it off because Chris and I head over to Johnny's Tap House here. You've been there with us before, Rocco, Johnny's Tap House.
Yeah, it's a nice place over there.
Yep. I actually, I'm going to go to this pub right around the corner here. Chris will be making his way over there to watch the game. And enjoy the game, Rocco. I took Cleveland on this and hoping Cleveland, you took them too?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
Tyrod Taylor, 0 for 6 to start.
Uh-oh. Chris has got a live stat. Tyrod Taylor, 0 for 6.
Yeah, just took a sack too.
What's the score?
Nothing.
0-0.
0-0. Who's got the ball?
Cleveland.
How much time's on the clock?
We got 8.5 minutes left in the first.
All right. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Rocco.
So,
brother, I appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure having you on, man.
All right, no problem.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Yep. See you.
All right, bye.
Chris, I mean, we've taken the show once again past our time because we have so much fun on here, but it has been a fun show. I want to go back to one thing real quick, Chris, before we check out here. I thought I had it queued up, and I don't know if I do or not. I'm going to see if I do. I don't have it queued up like I thought I did. Anyway, we'll get it next time. Chris, we're ready to head over to the you're going to Johnny's.
Yeah.
I'm headed over to the pub right around the corner from me. So we'll see what happens at the pub around the corner from me. But Chris, you're looking for the Cleveland Browns to get the win here. I'm looking for Cleveland Browns myself. In closing, Chris, why don't you go ahead in closing and tell me what's up?
I think this week 3 we're going to see a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good games that teams really need to win. You look at it. The Chargers-Rams going to be a good game. Cowboys-Seahawks. I think we're all up in arms over that Steelers-Bucks game. That's going to it's really going to show some of these teams that are a surprise to me. For instance, the Buccaneers, the Browns. I'm surprised Houston started 0-2. The Bengals. We're going to see if these teams are for real or, if they're imposters. I've got my thoughts on that, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit Sunday.
Very good. Very good. I want everybody to remember, once again, I said this to you before, if you ever want to call in, there is a number on the bottom of the screen. If you have not yet, like us on Facebook page. It's at Leepa Live. Find the Facebook page. Don't forget, while you're on Facebook, to also like Murphman. Murphman, find him and like him. He's got great picks. He's 2-0. If he gets the pick tonight with Cleveland, he will be 3-0. Remember that you can register to be part of the show. LeapaLive.com. Click the register button. Visit the website. There it is. Don't miss the next episode at LeapaLive.com. You can also find us at the YouTube channel. For John and Chris, enjoy yourself in Tampa.
Go Pats.
I'm looking forward to the show on Sunday, my friend.
That's going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. Peace out to everybody over in Tampa, New York, Chicago, Detroit, LA, all the places that Leepa Live is featuring some of our sponsors there that you will see on the LeapaLive.com page. We're looking forward to seeing everybody very soon. For Chris and John at Leepa Live Sports, we are out. Peace.
Go Pats.